The comic books you need to know about for Monday, March 9th, 2020. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, comic book fan. Welcome to another episode of Top Comic Book Picks with VM Campos. That's me. This is the series where I talk about the comic books that you need to know about for the final order cutoff date. Now, the next one that's coming out is March 9th, 2020. Final order cutoff date. Why, that means this is the last day that your comic shop can order these comic books for you to be guaranteed that you'll get them. If your comic shop doesn't order these comics by the deadline, March 9th, 2020, you're not guaranteed to get your own copy, and that would be a shame. So head on over to your favorite comic book shops, give them a call, tell them VM Campos sent you, that these are the comic books that you want. Now, this is the short version of the video. I'm going to reveal a lot of great comics, but if you want the long version of the video where I reveal even more comics, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos. For $1, you'll get access to the longer version of the video that I do every single week to reveal all the comics that you need to know about. If you can't quite pledge at the moment, no worries. Enjoy the free version of the video. Let's get on with it. All right, let's start off with Marvel Comics. We've got a brand new Black Widow comic book coming out, and there's a bunch of variant covers. They're all good, but the one I'm going to pick is the Natisse Games variant. So this is sort of like a computer-generated version. It's like kind of like in-game visuals sort of thing. Pretty cool cover. You've got Black Widow in her like sort of like neon-esque sort of costume. One thing that's kind of weird is they didn't render the shadows on her feet. Kind of weird. Cool background, cool foreground character, but where's that shadow? Anyway, ignore that. This is a brand new issue number 1 of a Black Widow comic. Writer Kelly Thompson, art Elena Casagrande, and cover art again by Natisse Games. So best-selling Eisner-nominated writer Kelly Thompson for Captain Marvel and Star, and rising star artist Elena Casagrande from Catwoman launch a new Black Widow series that changes everything. Natasha Romanoff has been a spy almost as long as she's been alive, and she's never stopped running, whether she was working for the good guys or the bad. But Natasha's world is about to be upended. Beyond San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge lies a mystery that only the Marvel Universe's greatest spy can solve. Don't miss the heartbreaking thrill ride of 2020. Yep, so this is going to be in stores April 1st, April Fools, but it's not a joke. You need to final order, cutoff order it on Monday, March 9th, if you want your own copy of this. Jumping over to DC Comics, have you noticed they've recently been doing these like portfolio trade paperbacks? There was one by Art Germ. Now here's one, James Jean, really cool concept. DC spotlights top cover artists with the new poster portfolio series, continuing with celebrated artist James Jean. This collection includes 20 of Jean's most memorable DC covers, highlighted by his years of iconic work on Fables, printed on heavy cardstock paper at a big 12 by 16 inches. You do your own metric conversion, please. The pages of the poster portfolio are easily removed from the binding and are suitable for framing. So it's a cool book plus removable kind of like mini posters, 12 by 16. Cover price $24.99. This publishes on August, so it's a long way away, but they want the final order cut off this early, March 9th. Might as well get in on it if you want your own pristine copy. And again, this cover is pretty amazing if we zoom in on it right here. So this artist is really cool, like this sort of like pop art style of things. And yeah, if you saw their work on Fables, DC collected a bunch of them into this cool book. Moving over to Image, Mirka Andolfo's latest series after Unnatural and Unsacred. Now we've got Unmercy. I just mean Mercy. So this is the series premiere, but it's a second printing, so sold out again. Andolfo's books are on fire. She's worked on DC for sure, I know. I don't know if she's worked at Marvel, but definitely worked at DC. And now she's over at Image publishing her own books, and also over at Ablaze, where she's got her Unsacred book going on. When the placid mining village of Woodsburg is disturbed by a series of brutal murders, the settlement is in turmoil, and as the first snow covers the chaos in a white blanket, a mysterious woman in black arrives, eliciting a totally different kind of unrest. So I totally recommend this book. Second printing is coming out. If you can still track down first printing, of course, you might want that one. If you didn't get it, second printing, good enough. Collectability, first printing would probably be better, but with some of these more under-the-radar books, second printing is still a good investment. Ships on April 1st. Jumping over to Dynamite, we're going to come in with some cosplay variant covers. I'm always on the lookout for photo or cosplay covers, and here we have Vengeance of Vampirella number 7. This is the cosplay cover, cover D. We've got Tom Snygoski, who comes back for this kind of like volume 2. The first volume was back in the 90s. And then Michael Mariah as the artist. Still recovering from her final battle with hemorrhage, Vampirella realizes that there will be no rest for the wicked and begins the process of assembling a plan that will hopefully result in the liberation of the Earth from the clutches of Mistress Nyx and the Chaos Lords. Step 1, the creation of a new Dance Macabre. Okay, so this is kind of an epic series. Vampirella is dead. This is an alternate timeline, I suppose, based on the, compared to the current Vampirella book coming out. Alternate timeline, she died 25 years ago. The last survivors of Earth tried to resurrect her. Did they succeed? Well, yes, they did by issue 7, if you haven't been reading this. And now she's fighting these old characters from back in the day, and the ultimate and the final boss is Mistress Nyx. So, amazing cosplay covers. I'm on the lookout for those. I missed some of my previous cosplay covers because I didn't order by the final cutoff date. That's on me. I'm telling you about it. You gotta get these books. Moving over to IDW, this is interesting. Star Wars Adventures Clone Wars number 1 of 5. This exciting weekly series explores a time of great upheaval in the galaxy, the Clone Wars. So there's going to be a new one of these every single week for the month of April. They did that with Tales from Vader's Castle in October, where every week of the 5 weeks there was a new comic book. So there's going to be 5 of them in April, and you can do your final order cutoff to get all of them. On March 9th, you can pre-order all 5 of them for the 5 weeks of April right now. Michael Moreci, I don't know how to say his name, Moreci, I think it's Moresi, Ariana Florian, and Derek Charm cover. I love those Derek Charm cover arts. So I'm going to pick this up. This is getting some buzz. So you want to final order, cutoff order these. Over on Dark Horse Comics, we have Spy Island number 1 of 4. I liked all the covers that are available, but I'm going to go with cover B, the Leah Metternich cover. Just a really cool cover here. This seems to be also like a photo cover to some degree. Let's get a zoom in here, because we have this background of like just a lot of bling, although this could have been rendered as well. And a stark silhouette, so bloody knife and everything, and I just love the graphic design aspect of it. Spy Island. Super spy Nora Freud, no relation, has a plum assignment. She's stationed on a tropical island. Her mission? Keep an eye on things. Her problem? The island is on the lip of the Bermuda Triangle, where anything can happen. So this is a new comic series from New York Times bestselling author Chelsea Kane. Art by Elise McCall. Seems kind of cool and interesting, so I'm going to be on the lookout for this new Dark Horse book. Over at Archie, we've got a brand new Sabrina series, Sabrina Something Wicked, number 1 of 5. I'm going to go with the Marguerite Sauvage cover. I love her work. Look at this beautiful pastel luminous cover. Let's get a nice zoom in right here. We have Salem. We have these cool, that's like a pentagram and stuff floating around. 1 of 5. I love this beautiful stark white cover. New series. This is by Kelly Thompson, Veronica Fish, and Andy Fish. Sabrina saved the day. Saved her friends, her family, the whole town of Greendale, and she should be riding high. But things are never quite that simple. She's trapped in a love triangle. She's having trouble balancing the mortal and witch parts of herself. And oh yeah, she's being blackmailed. So that's a brand new Sabrina book out from Archie. We've got another photo cover. This is Sherlock Scandal in Belgravia, number 5. This is written by Stephen Moffat himself, co-creator Matt Mark Gatiss, and art by just J. The critically acclaimed manga adaptation of Sherlock featuring Irene Adler reaches the climactic conclusion of its first arc. So it's the anime Sherlock plus photo cover, $4.99. This is from Titan Comics. If you liked the Sherlock season 2, that was kind of a while ago that was out on TV, but here it is back in comic form. So there we go. This was the short version of the video. Hopefully there's a few comics that you're interested in picking up. Remember, final order cutoff date is here, March 9th, 2020. If you want any of the books that I mentioned here for them to be reserved for you with no problem, head on over to your favorite comic shop right over here and tell them you want these books. Tell them VM Campos sent you. If you want the longer version of the video, head on over to my Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos. For $1, you will unlock that video. There's one of these videos every single week letting you know about the comics that you need to know about. For $1, I think it's totally worth it. If you go to the $2 range, I'll actually mail you a comic book in appreciation for being a patron. And don't forget to be on the lookout for the monthly comic book haul, where I go back and talk about all of the comic books that I picked up in a particular month, and a giveaway. I always have a giveaway at the end of the month. No purchase necessary on that. No need to become a patron. Be on the lookout for that on the last week of every single month, the last Wednesday, the last comic book day of the month. So the comic haul that I do. This has been the top comic book picks with VM Campos, and I'll see you next week.